Hey everybody, I'm live today to talk all about what the heck I even do every day in my business and how I lead my 15-person team on a day-to-day basis. So I've been running a team for a couple of years now, and I get a lot of questions about how I manage my team and who all is on my team and what is my job on the team. So today I'm going to answer a bunch of those types of questions for you guys. If you are at all curious about having a team, building a team, creating a better team if you already have one, then I really hope that you stick around for the rest of this video, and hopefully I'll answer a couple of those questions for you. So actually, in my Systemize and Scale program, one of the bonuses I offer is this behind the scenes, day in the life type of video where I walk you guys through what a typical day looks like for me. I actually recorded this video about a year ago, and since I originally recorded it, things look a little bit different in my business because I've made some changes and some growth as far as how my business is structured. So I thought I'd kind of share with you guys now what a typical day looks like for me in 2019, because it does change as your business grows. Back when I originally recorded that video, I was focusing on working with many different hourly clients, sometimes up to 20 at a time. I also had custom sales funnel clients and package clients on top of that. So I was really busy and had a lot of clients. And how that worked is basically for the hourly clients, I was in this much more of a managerial role where I was delegating out about 90% of the work that was coming in, and then primarily I was spending my daytime managing my team members and managing those projects, because just delegating and managing when you have that many clients does take up quite a bit of time. But since then, I've actually cut down on the hourly work that I do for clients, because I've started to realize that instead of being a small part of somebody's business for just a few hours a month, I'm really enjoying being a bigger part of their business with a lot more responsibility and input on strategy and things like that. So I actually serve as an integrator now for a small number of clients, and I help them pull together these big projects and these big launches. But right now I only have 4 of these clients because it takes up a lot of my personal time to work with those clients. I work really closely with them, and I only delegate out a few small pieces. Versus back when I was doing primarily hourly work, it was much more delegation. But this actually doesn't mean that I use my team less than I used to. I actually use them more. So since I've been able to take on fewer clients, this means, at least at first, as you transition, your revenue might dip down, which is something that I experienced. But certain parts of my business, the income dipped a little bit, but then other parts of it grew. So it was just a little bit of a transition period as I grew into this role of being more of this integrator person for my clients. And basically, in order to make sure that I was still maintaining the level of revenue that I brought in when I had more clients, I needed to take on additional work to pay the bills. So, in addition to those 4 integrator clients that I have, I also take on 1 to 2 sales funnel clients at a time. And I do all of the strategy, the management for those clients, but then I delegate out the big chunks of actual works, the copy, the graphic design, and tech. Those all go to the experts on my team. Although a lot of times I do the tech myself because that's my favorite part. But a big part of what my team does now is help me with our package clients. So right now, it's kind of, the income has kind of shifted where before the hourly clients were the majority of our income. But as I'm taking those away, obviously that's less. And now our package clients are like the bread and butter of how my business makes revenue. So in my Systemize and Scale program, I actually talk a lot about like team hierarchy and structure and how important it is to strategically place certain people in certain roles on your team so that they are in their zone of genius and doing the best possible work. So, since I recorded that original day in the life video that I was talking about, and I kind of also shared like my current team hierarchy structure and how I was running it, and also kind of like where I was envisioning it heading in the future. And so many things have changed since then. I've really been going in that direction of what my goal hierarchy was looking like. So I've made really big strides in pushing my team further towards that goal. And so a couple of the things that have changed, like I said, the revenue structure is slightly different in how we're bringing in that income. And then also how our, like the hierarchy within the team is also different as well. So we used to have 2 OBMs, and I used to get a lot of questions on that. So I had 1 OBM for like client work, and then 1 OBM for like the Miranda Namias and Co. side of my business, like my student side. But now we just have 1 OBM, and to help sort of adjust into our team just having that 1 manager, I've also given more responsibility to other people on my team and put them in a little bit more of a managerial role. So it's definitely kind of adjusted as I've given more specific roles to my team members. And I really like doing this because there's never a question of who gets assigned what. So if you don't have a lot of people on your team, you might not notice this being a problem. But when you have a lot of people on your team, like me, and we didn't necessarily always have very specific roles, something I would sit down and be like, who does this go to? And then you'd have to make the decision. And even though that is usually a quick spur of the moment type of decision, having to make those decisions all day long can really slow you down and make that delegation process harder than it needs to be. And especially if you're delegating a lot of work or you're doing a lot of management, making small changes in how you delegate can really help improve like how quickly you can delegate and stuff like that. So next week, I'm actually going to be going through a breakdown of all the people who are currently on my team. Sorry, not next week, on Friday. On Friday, I'm going to be going through a breakdown of all of the people on my team, who's in charge of what all the roles are, so that you can see exactly how I structure my team. And just remember also that as an agency, I do have a lot of people on my team. If you don't want to run an agency, but you still want a team, that's totally fine. And I would definitely recommend it. And you can kind of try to take these concepts that I'm sharing and just downsize them a little bit for whatever size team works for you. So for me, I love having like 15 to 20 people on my team. It's really awesome. It's a great like community. But if you want to have like a really tight knit, like 3 to 5 people team, that's totally possible as well. And I still think that you should work with that idea of getting really specific with the roles that your team members play. And this can actually be even more important if you do have a small team, because those people are going to be taking on a bigger responsibility to make up for the fact that there aren't, 15 to 20 people on the team. So this is what I do all day now, is primarily working with those integrator clients and those sales funnel clients. And I also still spend some of my time managing and delegating out. But for the most part, I've been able to really systemize the structure of how my packages get delivered so that I'm able to give my team members a little bit more responsibility and lean on them to help manage those smaller projects so that I have more time to focus on doing really intense, strategic, technical work for my clients, which is something that I realize I really, really love. And I really missed out on it back when I was just doing mostly delegation for my hourly clients. And now I feel a lot more fulfilled because I'd kind of gotten away from doing the actual client work, which, if that is what you want to do, is totally possible, especially with an agency. But if you want to be able to really focus and do things that you love for your clients, but also still pay the bills, this is such a great way to do that. And it's been giving me so much satisfaction and happiness in my business lately. So, okay, next week on Monday, I am going to be running a challenge. So make sure you sign up. It's systemizeandscale.co/challenge. And we are going to be talking all about how to build your team and get systemized so that you can scale your business to 6 or 7 figures, whatever your goal is, whether that be with a small team or a big team. I'm going to walk you through all the steps that you need to do now in your business to scale in a really sustainable way that's going to make you fulfilled and happy. So yeah, that's it for me today. Definitely go sign up for the challenge. I will leave the link somewhere, and let me know if you guys have any questions about growing your team, systemizing your business, structuring your packages or your team members. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have.